What's up, everybody? James Roberts, Truth Teller here for newscaller.com. I want to break down and provide some analysis of an event that took place in the city of Riverside last week at the Riverside City Council Meeting. Miss Letitia Pepper was placed under arrest for clapping. That's right, I said clapping, folks, at the City Council Meeting. This analysis, we're going to break down some general questions. What's the proper role of government, First Amendment, and the nanny state where no one's feelings can be hurt? Now, I want to go ahead and quote before we get going the mayor from the press enterprise. Quote, "I feel like she came down there with a purpose to get arrested and to provoke me into that response. I think she gave me no choice." Continuing, the mayor stated in the press enterprise piece, Bailey said he followed the protocol by giving Pepper 2 specifically worded warnings before directing officers to remove her. So it's going to get quite interesting when you see this video footage. First 6 clips are of the council meeting, and the 7th clip is via the Press Enterprise YouTube channel. So it's going to get nice and steamy. I had this morning a very spirited debate with a supporter of the mayor. So as we go through the clips, I'm going to go back and forth as to the pros and cons as to the debate. And you know who you are, supporter A. I love having those spirited debates with you. So we're going to let the general public know your reaction. Clip 1.
Congratulations, Set the Pace Riverside participants. I'd like to present each participant to you so that you may join me in congratulating them for completing the Set the Pace Riverside Leadership Skills Development Program and for embracing the leadership qualities necessary to make a positive impact in our organization. I'll ask at this time that Mayor Bailey come forward to assist me in recognizing the following individuals who are our organization's future leaders. Susan Wilson, City Attorney's Office. Sherry Morton, City Clerk's Office. Moses Lopez, Community Development Director.
Okay, well, you just watched clip 1 was of city employees being recognized by the council and the general audience. And if you notice, people were clapping, but there were no arrests. Supporter A position was this. Well, the beginning of the council meetings is more ceremonial, so it's okay to clap for city servants compared to during public comments. Well, my follow-up was, well, that might be true. But the mayor's position was, don't disrupt the meeting or intimidate or bully someone. Question for the mayor. How did you know that no one in the audience was offended or bullied into clapping for city employees who were obviously taking classes on taxpayer money? How do you not know someone in the audience position was, well, city employees should pony up their own money for higher education? That's not really the issue, but the issue was the bullying aspect of it. Maybe someone was bullied into clapping during this particular form of the council meeting. Let's move to clip 2.
We're waiting for you to take decisive, supportive action, and I thank you in advance for doing that.
Thanks for coming down. Once again, that is not acceptable behavior in the council chambers. Pursuant to California Penal Code Section 403, it is a misdemeanor to disturb the business of a lawful assembly to the point that the meeting cannot continue. You've been advised that your conduct is unlawful. If you continue, you're committing a crime, and you'll be escorted from the premises or placed under arrest.
Okay, on clip 2, if you notice after the speaker during the public comments, this clip was pretty much at around an hour into the meeting. You could hear several people clapping, right? It was not just one person in particular, and you notice this was the first warning by the mayor. And if you notice also, it was not specifically addressed to Ms. Pepper, but it was a blanket statement that was made to the general audience. Let's move to clip 3.
You're not doing your jobs. If you allow frats to operate in our neighborhood without a business license and a CUP, you're not doing your jobs. It's well past time that you did. If you allow our neighborhood to go without street improvements for real neighborhood residents, you're not doing your jobs. I hope you enjoy the pictures.
Daryl Salmon, and then Diane Rice. This is the last time I'm going to ask you to not clap, and then I'll ask the officer to escort you out. This is the last chance before I ask the officer to escort you out.
Now with clip 3, if you notice, there's multiple people clapping. You can even hear a man out there kind of cheering after the speaker. If you notice, the comments were starting to get a little bit more heated, and they were pretty much putting the council members on check as to their inaction in regards to this UCR issue that a lot of the residents were having. And this was his second verbal warning, but if you notice, once again, it was not specifically addressed to Ms. Pepper based off of his comment in the press enterprise. Let's move to the next clip.
Flats because there wasn't any rule about that. So that's one thing. The other thing is it's totally illegal for you to tell people not to applaud or not to boo if it doesn't disrupt the meeting. And when one speaker is done speaking, before the next one gets to the podium, it's not disruptive for people to show how they feel. And that's why we come. Not to sit here and be lectured by you, but to show what we think and what we feel. That's why people are here. How else did you know that there are people who supported those two women who took the time to come and say how important public pools were, unless people in the audience applauded and let you know. That's why I applauded for my neighbors when they talk about problems I know about and I agree with them. We have a right to do that, and it's a shame that you teach government, and a shame you're our mayor when you dare to tell people they'll be arrested for exercising their First Amendment rights. And I urge everybody here, please feel free to applaud because they can't arrest all of us. Thank you.
Okay, now this was clip 4. Now this is when our debate got really spirited, as we say. This was Ms. Pepper, and Ms. Pepper pretty much was putting the council members on notice as to what they can and cannot do. If you notice, there were multiple people clapping after she spoke when she said, hey, you cannot arrest all of us. Well, supporter A position was this. Well, she's been paraphrasing, a pain in the behind for the city for a long time. And I was like, well, you know what? It doesn't matter what she's done in the past. I'm only going off of the evidence and what occurred the day of her arrest. I don't care what she's done in the past. It's irrelevant. The supporter's position also was, hey, look, the mayor did solid. He was okay in his actions because he had Ms. Pepper arrested because she cannot say those type of comments during the public forum. And I disagreed. I guess it's kind of like your interpretation as to what she can and cannot say. Supporter A's position was, well, she was the ringleader. That's why she got arrested. Well, how do you know that those other people who clapped actually was part of an organization with her? How do you not know that they were just there sitting down and agreed with what she had to say? So there's really no way of knowing that. And based off of this, with no one being placed under arrest after she spoke when there was already 2 warnings, you're going to see what happens after this. Watch the next clip.
We're at the end of our rope. And until you imagine you go home after a long day, sitting here, and somebody wakes you up at 11 o'clock at night, and you don't get back to sleep. You end up with post-traumatic stress syndrome. Thank you.
Tina Marin. Officer, would you please remove the individual from the council chambers? City Council will recess this meeting until further notice.
All right, so clip 5 was after Ms. Pepper spoke and sat down and another speaker had concluded in her comments. If you notice, there was multiple people clapping after this comment. We're assuming Ms. Pepper, you could hear a man cheering and someone else clapping, or if the man was clapping himself. But you obviously can hear multiple people clapping. So the question for me was, okay, well, why are you specifically targeting Ms. Pepper on this arrest? And this is where I think the mayor's going to have a problem. He had the opportunity to shut it down prior to her arrest. Other people were obviously in violation of his order, so why didn't he have them placed under arrest? My position is this. If you're going to arrest one, you might as well do them all. Okay, you can't just target one person, and I think that's where the city's going to have some issues. Let's continue with the next clip.
Oh, you are assaulting me. Take your hands off me. Take your hands off me, or you're not legally able to remove me. I think you're illegal. You know what?
So if you want us to cancel the rest of the meeting, then that's This public hearing did not intimidate or bully other individuals there in the audience.
All right, well, that following clip was of Ms. Pepper being escorted out of the council chambers and being placed under arrest. That's pretty much self-explanatory. What I found pretty intriguing was the Q&A portion right before the council meeting started back up, where the mayor was pretty much trying to lecture, and he was probably trying to do a little bit of damage control with the constituents right there, but obviously you can hear people speaking back and forth with him. So that was a little entertaining for me. Let's move to the final clip.
I'm assuming that we're actively going out and citing these homes that are, I'm looking at dead lawns, and I guess that's my question. Because I think certainly in...
Okay, so on the final clip, this was after public comments and the council members, city attorney and city manager were speaking in regards to what they had just heard. Well, one of the councilmen was making his point, and if you noticed, you had people in the audience actually making comment towards him. And this is what I have a problem with. When it's okay to support their position, it's okay for, public comment or clapping or interaction with the members. And that's what I have a problem with. I do not like the specific targeting of one particular individual because of prior history. That just kind of shows that the mayor had it out for this particular person, Ms. Pepper, who was placed under arrest. So the general question is this, people of Riverside, if you allow the mayor to get away with this time, will it get worse? That's a fundamental question. Also, do you think she was solid in what she was saying? Do you think it was a First Amendment issue? Do you support the mayor? I'm already hearing recall in regards to the mayor. What do you think? Should he be recalled or not? The supporter was like, no, there's no way he's going to be recalled. Well, my position is, you know what? Liberty is becoming the new sexy, and tyranny is out, and you're going to have a lot of pushback. So hit me up, Twitter, Facebook, or below. Why don't you go ahead and comment, agree or disagree. It's okay. I had a very spirited debate with my friend. Just remember, doesn't matter if you drink tea on the left or coffee on the right, just don't drink the Kool-Aid, and in this case, the tyranny. Peace.